What's up, guys? Everyone here, and I just, just not too couple minutes ago, actually, I just watched the season free premiere of Arrow, and it was amazing. So yes, so I'm gonna do a review on that. Before I do a review on that, I'm actually doing a review on. Wait, let me adjust the camera angle a bit quickly. Not off. It's not on completely. There we go. It shifted a bit. But yeah. So yeah, today before I do that, I'm actually reviewing the pilot episode for The Flash that premiered the other day, actually. Now, I've been trying to review a couple episodes of many of the recent shows I've been premiering, like a couple episodes of Gotham, Agent Shield, and these two stuff. So I thought this would be a cool way. I thought this would be a something cool because actually these episodes, well, I can't really say why. Hey, I'm doing them both at the same time. Plus, it actually saved me time of reviewing these both at separate. Plus, since both shows are like both connected, so they kind of make sense. So yeah, let's first start with The Flash. The Flash, all I can say is just amazing. Now, I might get some things mixed up because I saw it the other day, plus I'm trying to remember all the other stuff I've seen so far to try and review it, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, right now I'm trying to remember. Okay, now I remember. So basically the episode begins of Barry Allen talking about his life and a backstory. And we see rather than say him like running around like crazy, basically. So basically the show kind of starts out him already as Flash, but then he tells a backstory. So really the whole episode is like basically a giant backstory, basically. And so yeah. Anyway, so afterwards he tells us about backstory, how he got picked on a lot, bullied, and yeah, and then we see his parents, of course. Fun fact, actually, his father, which I think the actor's name was John Wesley Shipp. Yeah, I think that's what it is. John Wesley Shipp, who played Flash in the original '80s live-action series. I've seen like a bit of the first episode. I haven't seen a full episode of that '90s series, but still, I might see it soon. Alright, because of this. So yeah. So we see him afterward. Barry's sleeping, but then he sees that the water from his fish tank is rising. He goes downstairs to see what's up exactly, and he notices that there's this ball of lightning running around his mother, and his father tells him to leave to get out of the house, and he's not. And Barry apparently then he's in like the street, and apparently he's asking where mom and dad is, and starts running back to his house. And we see in present time of Barry then running to, I guess we can say, late to work, and yes. So yeah. Anyway, so we then see there's this murder apparently that was committed by the Martin brothers, who are like this gang, and the murder was committed by a man named Klein Martin. I think that's what his first name is, Klein, something like that. So yeah, Barry gets there late, of course, and his boss covers for him, who's I know it was like I know it was something West. I know he's one from the West family. I forget what his first name was. I'm sorry I'm forgetting this stuff. Like I said, a lot of stuff I need to remember. So yeah. And so Barry basically just crouches down when he gets there, looks at the tire tracks that are left there, and we can see like what he thinks, how he thinks in his mind. You can actually tell what the car is, and find like these like dirt print on it there, and basically use the pen of the one sign is there, and he uses to pick up a speck of dirt basically, and so yeah. And what's funny because the guy goes down with my father's pen before he gave it to me before he died, and like which is kind of funny how Barry just goes sorry, but yeah, anyways. So after Barry's now at the crime lab working on stuff, and then Miss Iris West comes in, who of course becomes his wife in the comics, but they're not dating yet. They're just a good friend because they grew. Well, I can't talk about that until we get later on in this review. We'll be in the. It's gonna be in the title anyways. There's spoilers in this review, and these are two reviews, but of course it'll be in the title anyway. So there's no meaning to tell you, but still I'm telling you right now. So I'm horrible. Sorry. But anyway, so yeah. Anyways, after that, Barry then starts talking about the case and stuff, and tells once his partner comes in, who's the West something. I'm gonna call him the Detective West. Basically, that's what I don't know what's the first name, but yeah. So he tells him that the dirt he analyzed was actually from a cow, from a farm, basically what he's saying. So yes, it came from a farm, and so he allows him to go to Star Labs to go view something, which him and his Iris were gonna go see. And after it cuts, once it goes there, Iris then asks him, did you get this? Did you get what you wanted from Starling City? Because you remember, there was an episode of Arrow, which is where Barry Allen first appeared in. So yes. Anyway, so he talks about how I think he's talking about how he got some stuff he wanted. Didn't really mention any of the characters from the Arrow. Like he didn't mention people like Oliver or John or Felicity, people like that. So yeah. There's not often the speech of this sign. I forgot his name. Afterwards, this guy steals Iris's bag, and Barry goes to chase after him, but he gets defeated. He loses him, but then this detective named Eddie Fong catches him, and that's when he's back at the police headquarters. Iris is asking Barry who that is, and his name is Eddie Fong. Of course, we didn't know that before, but we now know. And in the comics, Eddie Fong is actually the real name of the supervillain in the comics. And also, he's also known, I think, as Eobard Fong, who is known in the comics. Also, aka known as Dr. Zoom, Professor Zoom, aka known as Reverse Flash. So yes, another little fun fact for you there. Anyway, so yes, now Barry afterwards goes to this little lab, and we also come back to Detective West and his partner going to the barn, and they do find the Martin brothers there. I believe they only saw one there, but they were all there. They were on a plane, and they leave. But of course, during that time, there's this experiment going on at Star Labs. An explosion happening, so a big cloud of energy, a golden, orange kind of energy, blasted out. It creates this, and hits the many things, including hits the plane that the Martian brothers were getting away on. And it also makes a cloud of lightning that strikes Barry, which knocks him into a bunch of chemicals, turning him. And we can see lightning start going through his cheeks. Now, of course, that scene was taken directly out of that episode of Arrow, so they didn't like to film that. Well, him getting shot by the lightning scene. Then we also see him trying to figure out clues about his mother's death, because apparently his father was framed for the death, even though he wasn't. So yeah, so he's been in jail for the last couple years. And of course, we already knew that from the Arrow episodes, yeah, or from comics, of course. So anyways, afterwards, we didn't see Barry being rushed to the hospital. They were trying to bring him out to life, and then Iris is trying to come in, but they're telling him not to. Afterwards, then 9 months pass, and we then finally see Barry wake up, and these two guys are here. I'm not sure what their names were, I forget. But I do know the guy that was, one male guy that was there, he's actually a superhero in the comics known as Vibe, which is interesting. So if you read the Justice League of America New 52 title, you know who Vibe is. Or his comic title, yeah. But yeah, anyways, so they tell me he's been asleep for 9 months, and that scientist that was giving the speech apparently not on a wheelchair. And explain to Barry what happened. Apparently that experiment, something I think the particles collided, created that giant storm. Many people got injured, many people died, and many people, we'll reveal that later on, but he revealed later on in the episode that many people got powers heated, and so Barry, not really, that's revealed later on in the episode, but still, whatever. So yeah, then they tell him that now he's away, they run tests on him and stuff. They also revealed that every time his heart kept stopping, it kept beating. It was being not like how a normal heartbeat where it beats slowly like this. It's like a freaking fast heartbeat. They say it's going like this, beating like that, like crazy. So yeah, afterwards he visits Iris, and she's shocked to see him alive. And we really see Barry's ability being shown about slowing down and stuff and craziness. So afterwards he walks out the building, realizes he has vibrating and super speed. He goes back to Star Labs afterwards, and they figure out that that's what the storm gave him. They have certain abilities like that. And so, yeah. So at some point then also, apparently the Martian brother, apparently, which we can't tell, the only one who survived that plane crash, has also abilities too, who is known as, in the comics, the villain known as Weather Wizard, who can control the weather, basically. So yes. So we rob the bank. Barry tries to help, but of course it's not working out that well. At some point, I believe, Barry goes to see Iris, but he finds that he sees Iris kissing Eddie Fong, because Barry was gonna ask her out, but apparently not, that didn't happen. Afterwards, as they're walking out of the building, he sees Klein marching past in a car. Then she tries to stop him, but of course it doesn't work out that well. Afterwards, of course, also there's one part when he's in Star Labs. When they're testing him out to speed, he talks about how he's on his mother's death, and quickly and brief, and how he saw a ball of lightning of the man inside, which of course we all know is Reverse Flash. Anyways, after West says what he saw that night was not real, it wasn't. So afterwards, he goes to Star Labs and tells them that, why didn't you tell me there were more people like me? But he says the scientist says he's only interested in him and stuff. And of course, there's also one point in the episode they did test his speed, how fast he can run. And of course, he can break at least over 800 miles. And also revealed the one female scientist there, actually her fiance died in that explosion and stuff. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah. Anyways, afterwards, after scientist tells him that he's only interested in berries, not other people who have powers. They're looking for them and stuff, but yeah. So afterwards, he runs over to Starling City and talks to Oliver, aka Arrow, which I thought that was going to come out later in the episode, because I thought, I'll get to that part when I finish the review of this episode. So Barry's talking like how I'm sure I can be like you, can't be this vigilante, but and Oliver gives him the speech saying that he can inspire people, and saying that the bull lightning just struck you, it shows you. Afterwards, he then leaves by saying, "Take your own advice, wear a mask," and he leaves. And Barry goes, "Cool," and Oliver then sees him running away with super speed, and he just goes, "Cool." So yeah. After those two scientists that helped out the other scientist dude, they help him. They give Barry this suit that they designed for the firefighters. But of course, yeah, and of course that new Flash suit, which no one really likes. But yeah. Anyway, so afterwards, we then cut to Eddie Fong and Detective West, going to the barn where Eddie Fong is. And he is controlling the weather, and apparently West was wrong. Afterwards, Barry gets there, starts trying to stop it by running around the tornado in the opposite direction. So imagine the tornado going around in in the one direct, this how's it looking in the camera? Okay, imagine the tornado going around clockwise. Barry's going counterclockwise around the tornado, something like that. So it's not working. Of course, then the scientist comes in to help. All the comms telling him that he can do this, and he managed on doing it, but somehow during that, somehow his mask fell off. I'm not sure how that works. Like, how did well, there was a lot of wind and super speed coming off. But still, it's so kind of more. Weather Wizard. Well, he's not called that yet, but it's called more. Clan Martin sees his face, so he technically knows what he looks like, but doesn't know what his real name is. So yeah, yes. Anyways. He's about to say, "I didn't know there were other people like me," but then Barry goes, "I'm not like you." Detective West shoots Klein. He's not gonna be dead. He can't be dead. He's probably shot in the shoulder somewhere, here maybe. So yeah, and of course now Detective West now knows that Barry is this hero, and yeah. Anyway, so he promises not to reveal this identity to anyone or to Iris, and now believes that he did see a ball lightning there when he was a child. And of course, afterwards, he goes to his father and tells him that he's gonna soon find out who killed his mother, because his mother, because he's been in Iron Heights prison for a couple of years now. So yes. Afterward, we then see those scientists putting a thunderbolt on the chest of it, which is kind of weird that the thunderbolt symbol is only the lightest part that's red, which is weird. But yes, afterwards, so they are now. It then cuts to scenes of Barry. Now just running around the city, talking about, "My name is Barry Allen. My friend gave me the idea of a new name, and I have a feeling it's going to catch on." Because during that speech when Arrow was talking to him, he said, "Hey, he can change things in a flash, and yeah, man, that name will catch on." And it tells us what the next episode will be about, talking about how stuff like Barry is fast but not invincible, so he can still get shot and stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. Overall, I thought this episode of The Flash was really great. I really liked it. It's interesting. I can't wait to see where they're going to go with the rest of the season. Effects for Flash's speed looks amazing, and Weather Wizard and all the other characters. Cast people for the characters are amazing. Grant Gustin as Flash is pretty cool. I don't remember seeing Grant Gustin in any other things, but he seems like a really good Flash. I can't wait to watch more episodes and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting series overall. I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. And so yeah. Alright, now on to the next review. Oh yeah, I probably want to mention one thing quickly about this review. The reason why I thought Arrow would appear and Green Arrow would appear at the end of the episode, because this is what I was thinking. Maybe Barry's gonna put on the Flash costume maybe one time, just to stop Martin, but he thinks about maybe I can do this to fight crime or not. That goes Starling City and asks Arrow if he should do this, and tells him so, something like that. But I don't know, it's what I thought, but still. Alright, now on to the Arrow Season 3 premiere episode. So the episode starts off with, of course, giving us backstory of what happened in the last season. And after we then see Oliver and John Diggle, and of course now Speedy, Roy Harper, or well, what? He's not being going. They're not calling him a name. I hope it. They're not gonna call him Speedy. It's either will call him Red Arrow or Arsenal. I'm mad they're calling him Arsenal because he has here's a knife also in his pocket. So they stop this robbery, and so afterwards the cops and thank him for so his what was her name, Laurel, I think it was. I think that's what it is. She then tells her father to make him this speech for the Arrow because he doesn't know he's watching, but technically he's there because Oliver's there. He's not saying that where they're no longer be hunting him down. He's gonna be a part of the city, helping them out and stuff like that. So yes. So yes, now he's also now on a date also with Felicity for the first time. That's a shock. Never seen that coming. So yeah, afterwards, the date does not go well. Well, actually, he does fight one more crime before he leaves, and it's not the detective there. So yeah, apparently he's sick. Has to take pills as he fights crime, and stuff like that. So yeah, afterwards, as they're on their date, the bad guy there shoots a missile through the building, and sorry I'm rushing this because I don't want this to be a really long video. It probably already is, but yeah. The villain that shot a missile is actually a villain we saw briefly later on in that episode. In the beginning of the episode, sort of. We apparently usually like these, what I thought was Scarecrow, but I thought to myself, no, I can't be Scarecrow. He puts his dart in someone, and when he looks at the guy, he imagines him as a monster, so it's sort of like something Scarecrow has with his fear gas. Afterwards, Oliver brings Felicity back to his base because she got injured during that missile attack. And also, so yeah, they then go on the hunt to stop him. Apparently, this man is the guy who took care of the legacy of Count Vertigo, because you remember in Season 2, Count Vertigo died. So yeah. Of course, his fear he sees apparently is actually himself. And afterwards also, the detective gets hurt, so he has to go to the hospital. And how am I forgetting all this? I just watched it. I mean, I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm like burping almost. I mean, afterwards, how am I forgetting all this? I don't know, but yeah. And what I believe happens next in this video, in the episode, is that I think he goes on the troll again. Maybe, no, like I think her name. It's like Black Canary's sister, like Detective's the other daughter, not Sarah. She went with the League of Assassins. Was it Lauren? I think it's Lauren. But yeah, she goes to visit her dad and tells her to stop going on patrol. He's gonna kill himself soon. So yeah, afterwards, Arrow does go and Roy do go to fight crime. And of course, also there are times this at one point Oliver and Felicity go to his company, try and reclaim it. But of course, also Mr. Ray Palmer there is competing to get his company. And in the comics, Ray Palmer is a hero known as the Atom. So yes, so he might be buying the company instead. So yeah. After skip forward ahead, skip some of this stuff. Roy and Oliver go to fight to stop this bomb that the Count Vertigo was planted in the stadium. And as Oliver is fighting on the Count Vertigo, Roy's trying to activate the bomb while apparently Black Canary coming out of nowhere fighting one of the other thugs. Roy just manages to freeze the bomb. Oliver takes out Count Vertigo and Sarah defeats his henchmen. So that he talks about, I missed part of that part. He talks about how she might be staying for permanently now, not the League of Assassins, of course, anymore. So yeah, anyways now, because also somebody, Oliver told John Diggle not to come out into the field because he's changing his life now because he's gonna have a baby and stuff, which happened later on in the Season 2. So yeah, he goes and meets with him, Felicity and him go to John Diggle and his wife's hospital room, and John thanks Oliver for not letting him go on the field because once he said he saw his baby's face, it changed his whole universe and stuff. Afterwards, Oliver talks with Felicity saying, and Felicity says if we talk, then it's going to end their relationship. Oliver kisses him, and then we talk, and then she leaves him. And Oliver gets a quick call from Barry Allen, actually. And so yeah, so see this is why we're doing them both at the same time. Both the episodes intertwine, so that's pretty interesting. So yeah, afterwards, Lauren talks with Sarah, and after Lauren actually leaves, Sarah is about to go on patrol, but then Freon gets shot through his chest, and Lauren finds her body on the ground. And now I'm going to cut to stuff from Oliver's past, how he's been chased, how he was in Hong Kong at one point by Amanda Waller. It shows how he's been chased, how he's been being taken care of these nice people. And says if he runs away again, they'll kill the family that's watching over him. So yeah. And I believe this the girl in it is actually, because I heard the girl, the Japanese girl that will be in some of the flashbacks is actually the hero known as Katana. So that's interesting. But yeah, and then they show the preview of the next episode where Lauren tells Green Arrow about this, Oliver, and then it looks like they might be finding Malcolm Merlin in the next episode, who's played by John Barrowman, who's from Doctor Who, so that's awesome. Overall, I really liked the season 3 finale. They really make you put on a cliffhanger, because I literally missed both season finales of the last two seasons, and I haven't because I never got a good keep up with date. But now I'm gonna be trying to keep up with dates on the show. So they made a great cliffhanger, so I can't wait to see what the next episode will involve. Yeah, but thank you guys for watching this episode. So I hope you guys like both these reviews. Stuff like that. I might be doing that for the next 2 reviews for the next 2 episodes of Gotham and for Agent of the Shield probably. But yeah, so see you guys later. And what did you think about Arrow and Flash so far? Leave in the comments down below. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys later.